Over the past 3 years, I've helped hundreds of people pass their PMP exam so they can accomplish their biggest desires to increase their income and land their next job. For the first time, I'm so excited to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to teach you what it takes to solve PMP questions correctly so you can pass your PMP exam right now. I'm looking forward to this. So grab your favorite beverage. I have my green tea here, so stick until the end because we will solve questions together using my favorite software app, Pocket Prep, which helped me score above target in all domains. Thank you to Pocket Prep for kindly sponsoring today's video. More on them later. But first, what is the biggest topic that you're struggling with on your PMP exam? Drop me a comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. First up, eliminate obviously incorrect answers. This is a guaranteed strategy that will help you answer a question correctly by up to 75%. You see, in most PMP questions, there are usually 1 or 2 answers that are clearly wrong. Even if you don't know the right answer, you might recognize a choice that doesn't seem to make sense in that context. So you gotta be like my friend Sherlock Holmes, who knows how to solve that hidden mystery. He finds the clues and then he solves it. Remember this phrase: content is king, but context is the kingdom. You see what I did there? So use this to your advantage. Use the context to narrow your answers from 4 choices down to 2 or 3. Now here's my 3-step framework that you can use. Understand the context, evaluate the answers based on your knowledge, and then eliminate obviously incorrect choices. Let's apply this strategy with a real question from my favorite app called Pocket Prep. If you're not familiar, Pocket Prep is an award-winning exam prep app that is the best and the most affordable solution that helps you pass your PMP exam, but taking the stress out of studying and helping you identify and practice your weak spots. Let me show you something that's very incredible. Pocket Prep has a level up quiz mode, which gamifies studying where the question difficulty increases as you master each level. So think of this like playing a video game like Super Mario. It makes things fun because you want to unlock the next level and keep going. On my screen, it shows that I'm at level 3 for people, but I'm still at level 2 for business environment and process. So with level up, you can challenge your knowledge across multiple subjects and unlock new levels along the way. Let's do one question together using the level up quiz mode. You are an agile practitioner who notices the product owner is not as involved with the development team, and now the product is falling behind. You evaluate the situation and you realize that the product owner has multiple projects. What is your best course of action? Choice A, request they replace the product owner. Choice B, say nothing. The product owner is always right. Choice C, cancel the project. And finally, choice D, coach the product owner regarding participation. Before we solve this question together, pause the video and leave me a comment in the comment section below. What do you think the correct answer is? And explain why you think that's the answer. That's one of the best ways to learn, so I encourage you to join the conversation so we can help each other become certified PMPs. Let's power through this. Our strategy is to eliminate obviously incorrect answers. Out of the 4 choices, which one is obviously incorrect? Remember, the question asks, what is your best course of action? Choice C, to cancel the project, stands out the most to me. Think about it in this way. As a project manager, would you immediately cancel a project if you haven't spoken to the sponsor yet? Probably not. So let's cross this one out. Choice B is to say nothing. Seriously, as a project manager, when would it make sense to say nothing? If anything, we should be proactive and we should voice concerns that we have. If you have trouble remembering this, just think of John Mayer's song, Say What You Need to Say. So let's cross out choice B. Now we're left with either choice A or choice D. Choice A says to request to replace the product owner, while choice D says to coach the product owner regarding participation. Which one sounds better to you? It has to be choice D, right? Because project managers should be serving the team using the servant leadership mindset and coaching the product owner. Here's what Pocket Prep shows. The product owner needs to be involved with meetings to facilitate project success. So you should use several techniques like coordinating agile training, mentoring, and coaching. Now, what I love about using Pocket Prep is that in the explanation, it highlights in yellow the different key terms that we should be familiar with, which leads us to this second deadly strategy that could save your life on exam day. Don't use this trick and you might fail your PMP exam. Here it is. Find the keywords in the question. When you see a question, your eyes should scan quickly for any keywords that help you figure out the right answer. When I was a kid growing up, my parents bought me puzzles to help build up my visual analytical skills. And one of those games is called Where's Waldo, where you have to scan through a picture of dozens of people and you have to find Waldo in his red and white striped shirt, his hat, and his glasses. So think of solving questions as a game like Where's Waldo. Just finding one or two keywords can easily tip the odds in your favor, which is all you need to pass your PMP exam. So get your tipping jar out because you're gonna wanna get those tips. Am I right? So let's solve this question together using the level up quiz mode with Pocket Prep. Katie is a project manager for a revenue management project. According to the project communication management plan, Katie has to call in for weekly progress update meetings. The last few meetings were a mess since much time was spent arguing and little on making decisions. Which of the following techniques does Katie need to quickly implement? Choice A, meeting management techniques. Choice B, listening techniques. Choice C, presentation techniques. And lastly, choice D, proper writing skills. Before we solve this, pause the video and join me in the comment section. What do you think the correct answer is, and explain why you think that's the answer. This is the best way for you to learn, so please treat this like an actual question that you're answering. So with this question, what key words did you find out that makes this question just pop? I hope you caught them. They are project communication management plan and weekly progress update meetings. From just these two words alone, we know that we're trying to get everyone's alignment on key decisions and to share the project's latest updates. From this context, it sounds like we need to figure out how to keep everyone on the same page. Let's find the answer that does exactly that. Choice C for presentation techniques and choice D for proper writing skills, they don't seem to be the best answer choice here. This is a progress update meeting, so these techniques wouldn't necessarily be relevant here. So we're left with choice A for meeting management techniques and choice B for listening techniques. If we look at the context, there's a phrase that's glaring right at us, and it says this: much time was spent arguing and little on making decisions. That sentence tells us everything we need to know. So this has to be tied more to managing a meeting than to being a listener. What's incredibly helpful here about Pocket Prep is that when you're using level up mode on the web app, certain questions are for learning with a label at the top of the screen. At the very bottom, you can explain your answer to that question, so you're reinforcing your knowledge with active learning. But check out this cool feature here. You can even get AI generated feedback by check marking the box that's underneath it. This AI part is a cool new feature that Pocket Prep is currently testing out. So Pocket Prep is always improving the product and continuously updating it to make studying even more effective for us, which ultimately helps you pass your PMP exam on your first try. From using it myself, this AI feature acts like your personal tutor that gives you insights into your thought process. So it helps you identify gaps in your knowledge so you can refine your study strategies. I found this to be very powerful because you're using active learning to explain your thought process behind the question. A study from Harvard University shows that students in active learning classrooms, they learn more than they think. Just the act of you writing down why you think an answer is correct, which, by the way, is exactly what Pocket Prep's Level Up mode and Explain Your Answer feature does. These both help reinforce the material even better. Let's go ahead and let me type in my explanation, and let's also checkmark the box to get Pocket Prep's feedback. When we submit our answer, Pocket Prep tells us that we're correct, and to think of it like being the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring that all the instruments are playing in harmony rather than creating chaos. This level of personal feedback is helpful because no other software that I've used gives you this interaction, so you can remember the concepts even better. With a very robust database of more than 1,000 questions and more than 3,000 5-star reviews, I highly recommend Pocket Prep since it's what I've used to pass my PMP exam. It's also the most affordable solution I've used that costs around $20 at the time of this recording. With its level up quiz mode and all the interactive ways to test yourself, it's game changing. The biggest thing that I love the most was how easy Pocket Prep is to use, especially if you have a busy schedule like I do, balancing a full-time job and supporting a family. So if you want to pass your PMP exam on your first try, then join the thousands of other project managers in our community and sign up to Pocket Prep today using my link in the description bar down below. Next up is eliminate based on common sense. Sounds simple, but this gets tricky when you're down to the last hour and you flag many questions because you can't decide the answer between two choices. Is it choice B or is it choice D? I don't know. And next thing you know, you only have 20 minutes left. If you give me the next few seconds, I will tell you my secret that I use to overcome this exact struggle. Understanding the best practices that an ideal project manager uses is key to answering at least 80% of your PMP exam. From my experience, you'll see questions that ask you to evaluate how you would handle different situations like managing people, resources, risks, and quality to save you the stress and having to pull all of your hair out because of that one annoying neighbor that we all seem to have. It comes down to one easy concept. How are you acting like a strategic, proactive leader? Let me repeat it one more time. You should be acting strategic and acting like a leader who is proactive. So when you're reviewing answers, avoid choices that reflect being reactive or having a hands-off approach. Your PMP exam is looking for an ideal project manager who acts like a leader and anticipates and solves problems collaboratively before they escalate. Let's solve one question together with Pocket Prep using the build your own quiz mode. I love this feature because we can create quizzes based on the domain, and we can choose how many questions we want to solve in our study session, which by the way is super helpful during your work day and when you're taking a break. Here it is. Sage is managing an IT project and his leadership asks him to include more agile principles in the project. He realizes that there could be some complications if he does this right away. Before Sage does what he's asked, what should he do first? Choice A, assess organizational culture and readiness. Choice B, provide agile training to the team. Choice C, immediately implement the request. And lastly, choice D, take votes on what the best course of action is. This is a tough one, but with our strategy, ask yourself this one question. Which answer shows that you're acting like a strategic, proactive leader? A leader who is strategic would not immediately implement an action or a request, right? So choice C should be eliminated. The question is asking us, what should he do first. In other words, what's the very first thing that he should do as a project manager in charge? A proactive leader would not immediately give agile training, right? You would need to discuss with the team or do some type of evaluation first. So choice B has to also be incorrect. Since we're left with two tricky answer choices, let's flag the question using Pocket Prep's feature here. This lets you tag tricky questions and later revisit them easily in the review tab after you finish your quiz. For our question, let's pick choice A since this aligns more with what it means to be an ideal project manager who acts strategic and thinks proactively. And we see here that choice A is correct. What's great about Pocket Prep is that after you finish the quiz, you can go to your review tab. This makes it very easy to track problem areas and to focus on what needs improvement. So you aren't just moving past difficult questions, but you're actually learning from them and you're diving deep into questions that you're struggling with. By the way, if you made it this far, then I have a free gift for you. If you'd like my help to pass your PMP exam, then I invite you to sign up to my free PMP course at alvinthepm.com/bootcamp to learn how to solve PMP questions the fast and easy way, and you'll be one step closer to acing your PMP exam. Next up is trust your gut instinct. On quite a few questions, the PMP exam is going to trick you, and it's going to use what I call distractors that aren't really related to the question that's being asked. These are extra details that are designed to throw you off track. So in these scenarios, you got to ignore the extra information. It's going to overwhelm you and completely stress you out. It's kind of like driving your car when it's just raining really heavy outside. But what do? You turn on your windshield wipers and you focus on what's right in front of you. Similarly, when there's all that extra information on a PMP question, I want you to remember one very easy strategy. The PMP exam focuses on collaborative leadership. So any questions that suggest a command and control approach might be tricking you. Be very cautious of answers that sound rigid and it doesn't promote collaboration. Overthinking or second guessing your first choice often leads to mistakes. Take it from my experience. So trust your gut instinct. And if you're still stuck, focus on words that specify timing, like immediate action, best way, or most effective to better understand the context of the situation. Let's use Pocket Prep's Quick 10 quiz mode, which is super helpful whenever you want to practice 10 questions during your breaks at work or during your lunchtime. Let's solve this question together. Alexis is leading an IT project, and monthly audits are scheduled to assess her project activities. The purpose of these audits is to ensure the project activities align with the procedures, best practices, and policies of the organization. All the audits were in compliance up until the end of the project, which revealed some flaws. What is the best reason some of these flaws were missed? Choice A, the audits were performed by an external team. Choice B, the audits were performed by an agency outside of the project. Choice C, the audits were performed by a project team member. And finally, we have choice D, the audits performed by the project management office. This question has a lot of words in it, so focus on the very last sentence, which says, what is the best reason some of these flaws were missed when they were doing the audit at the end of the project? So typically, an audit should be done by someone outside of your team to avoid conflict of interest. If we stick with what our gut instinct is telling us, then choices A and B have to be incorrect. So that means we're left with either choice C or choice D. Would it be more likely that your audit would fail if the PMO project management office did it? Or if your internal project team member did it? It has to be choice C, so let's pick that one. And Pocket Prep shows us that were correct. It says here that audits are typically executed by teams, agencies, or offices external to the project. If it's done by a team member, then it can cause decisions that are biased toward the project. This leads us to the one guaranteed trick that I've used to pass my PMP exam, and that's by applying my strategy, which I call the best answer approach. Here's the brutal truth that I wish someone told me, so I could avoid wasting hundreds of hours of my time. Your job is to select the best answer based on the situation. So if the question asks you what to do first, then the answer will likely be something that sets up the next step in the project. So read the question carefully and have your blinker lights on and pay attention when you see words like most likely, best action, or should do first. One of the best features in Pocket Prep that helped me score above target in all domains is their question of the day. You can test yourself in the morning when you're eating breakfast, and it's such a great way to start your day knowing that you already solved one question. Let's look at this together. Your boss asked you to initiate a business critical project for your department. Your department has survived in the past by creating ad hoc processes and documents, all with mixed results. You want to use best practices wherever possible on this project to obtain the maximum chance of success. Which of the following should you do first? Choice A, calculate the project timeline. Choice B, write a comprehensive change control process. Choice C, develop the project charter and scope of work. And lastly, we have choice D, recruit based on the key project skills as soon as possible. Let's make this engaging and fun. Pause the video and in the comment section below, leave me a comment. What do you think is the correct answer to this question? Use the best answer approach strategy that we just talked about, and in your comment, explain why you think that is the correct answer. And I'll respond to your comment and I'll let you know if you answered it correctly. Now, the easiest way to guarantee your PMP success is by mastering project management terminology so you can recognize the words when you see it in the question. Now, I'm not telling you to memorize, but to understand the concepts. Remember, your PMP exam, it's not a memorization type test. For example, knowing when to apply agile versus hybrid versus predictive, and being familiar with terms like stakeholder engagement versus stakeholder management, and risk mitigation versus risk avoidance. Understanding the small details can help you rule out answers that may actually be incorrect. I familiarize myself with PMP terminology very quickly because I use Pocket Prep as a way to study on the go. Imagine having a personal tutor in the palm of your hands that you can access 24/7. That's how you're going to feel when you start using Pocket Prep on your phone and your computer. Whenever I was running errands, getting groceries, or waiting in line at the store, I would practice questions daily using Pocket Prep's quiz bank and the missed questions feature like this one, which we'll solve together. Elsie is contacted by the sponsor who tells her the Agile project she is managing is not progressing to their liking. She explains that the project is progressing as planned and invites the sponsor to attend one of Elsie's meetings to evaluate the performance. What type of meeting best represents what Elsie has invited the sponsor to? Choice A, retrospective. Choice B, sprint review. Choice C, daily stand-up. Or is it choice D, sprint planning? This question requires you to understand terminology with leading Agile projects. So to make sure you truly understand these concepts, let's make this engaging just like before. Pause the video and leave me a comment down below. What do you think the correct answer is, and explain why you think that is the correct answer choice. I encourage you to join the conversation so we can help each other become certified PMPs. Now, are you starting to see what strategies you can use on your exam? Are you learning what tactics can guarantee your success? Do you want to pass your PMP exam on your first try? And most importantly, do you want more questions like this? If you said yes, then join the other project managers in our community and sign up to Pocket Prep using my link below. Pocket Prep has even more detailed questions that are like the ones we review together, and they will get you in the mindset of solving PMP questions. Now, here's the tough truth that you probably already know. You could keep watching endless videos on YouTube and Udemy. If you want different results, then you need to do something different. Take action. Make a decision right now and sign up to Pocket Prep below and fast track your path to become a certified PMP. I'm incredibly proud of you for sticking this far and making this decision. I'm excited about the difference that it will make for you as it did for me. And I can't wait to hear about your success. So when you pass your PMP exam, come back to this video and leave me a comment down below to share with me and our community, because you will inspire other people. If you're still stuck studying for your PMP exam, please watch this video next to learn how to get certified as fast as possible, and I'll see you in the next video.